Hi, in today's video, let's understand what the ASX is. So you must be thinking, what does ASX stand for, right? Well, let's explain. It stands for Australian Securities Exchange. So let's get into the details of this. What is the Australian Securities Exchange? Thanks for watching Kalkine Media. My name's Sage. The prominent stock exchange in Australia is the Australian Securities Exchange. You might be wondering what a stock exchange is. Well, a stock exchange is a marketplace where bonds and stocks can be bought and sold, and this might be an offline trade platform or an online one. Now, coming back to our topic. Additionally, the ASX is one of the top stock exchanges in the world and competes globally with exchanges in Shanghai, Hong Kong, Japan, Taiwan, and even South Korea. After the merger of 6 state-based stock exchanges, the ASX was founded in 1987. The Australian Securities Exchange Limited, often known as the ASX Limited, owns the exchange, which was established in accordance with Australian parliamentary law. Market participants can choose from various products offered by the ASX, including hybrids, ETFs, ETPs, managed funds, warrants and products based on indexes, interest rates, energy, grains and other commodities. ASX is more than simply a trading exchange. It also serves as a market operator, monitors compliance with its operating regulations, provides corporate governance, serves as a clearinghouse and payment system facilitator, and educates individual investors. Business as usual in stocks at the exchange begins at 7 a.m. when brokers commence submitting orders and trades are captured. This period is known as the pre-open market. The trading session begins at 10 a.m. and it takes 10 minutes to release the opening prices for the listed assets, which hit exchange boards in 5 distinct groups. Normal trading on the ASX concludes at 4 p.m. Before we move ahead, let's look at what history tells us about the ASX. In the early 19th century, the first corporation was formed in New South Wales. It has been serving Australia since 1817 as the Bank of New South Wales and is today known as Westpac Banking Corporation. Amid the gold rush of the 19th century, many stock exchanges were established in Australia, including the Sydney Stock Exchange, the Brisbane Stock Exchange and the Perth Stock Exchange, all of which were forerunners of the ASX. BHP Group Limited went public in 1885, after being founded 2 years earlier as the Broken Hill Proprietary Company Limited. Then, in 1937, there was agreement across Australian stock exchanges, resulting in similar listing requirements, rules and brokerage. The Australian Associated Stock Exchange was the name of the consortium. After its inception in 1960, the Sydney Greasy Wool Futures Exchange was a huge success, giving hedging possibilities to Australian wool dealers. The Futures Exchange was renamed Sydney Futures Exchange in 1972. Stocks began trading under 3-letter company codes in Sydney in 1962, and the practice was quickly adopted in Melbourne. Because of technical improvements in the 1960s, the Sydney Stock Exchange installed its first computer, which arrived in 7 parts. Brokers could now check last, bid and offer prices at their workstations due to a collaboration between Reuters and the Sydney Stock Exchange. New South Wales passed the Security Industry Act in 1970 to establish ethical standards in the industry. The Australian Securities and Investment Commission was established 4 years later after the Australian government suggested the necessity for the corporate regulator in the Select Committee report. 6 years later, the Sydney Stock Exchange began trading options, making it the world's first exchange-traded options market outside North America. Over the next decade, the country's capital markets welcomed more technical improvements and offered new products, such as gold futures, bank bill futures and bond futures. And finally, in 1987, the Australian Stock Exchange was formed by the amalgamation of 6 stock exchanges. Over time, Australian derivative markets established a stronger foothold in global futures markets, including after-hours trading, which provides an exemption from admission into the US futures market. Capital markets and investments advanced significantly in the 1990s, particularly in technology, regulations, product clearing, as well as settlement. Australia's brands and current significant firms such as Commonwealth Bank of Australia, Qantas Airways, Woolworths and AMP went public. Additional revisions and improvements to corporate laws were implemented. Interest rate markets were introduced to ordinary investors, and the settlement period was cut even further. In the following years, SFE finalised its public market entry with an ASX listing. And in 2006, SFE was amalgamated into ASX. The ASX works in a dynamic environment, primarily controlled by two separate Australian government organisations: the Australian Securities and Investments Commission, also known as ASIC, and the Reserve Bank of Australia, also known as the RBA. ASIC monitors real-time trading on Australia's domestic regulated financial markets, as well as ASX's own compliance with the ASX listing rules as a public corporation. ASX Compliance is an ASX subsidiary firm that monitors and enforces compliance by ASX-listed companies with ASX operating guidelines. And meanwhile, the Reserve Bank of Australia, or the RBA, monitors the clearing and settlement systems of the ASX for financial system stability. The other regulators are the Australian Prudential Regulatory Authority, the Council of Financial Regulators, and the Treasury. The Council of Financial Regulators oversees the efficiency and effectiveness of financial regulation, as well as stabilising the Australian financial system. It also advises the federal government on monetary regulatory measures for Australia. Did you know this? ASX itself is listed on the ASX. ASX Limited changed its name to ASX Group to better represent its mission in the Australian capital markets. The firm was founded in 1999 and currently has over 2,000 entities listed on its exchange. It is a component of all main Australian indexes and is listed on the Australian Stock Exchange under the ticker ASX. So how does the ASX operate? ASX provides two trading platforms: ASX Trade, which allows the trading of ASX equities, securities, and ASX Trade 24, which facilitates the trading of derivative instruments. Derivatives are traded on ASX Trade 24, a worldwide network access point, having network access points in Chicago, New York, London, Hong Kong, Singapore, Sydney, as well as Melbourne. The platform allows for 24-hour trading and maintains 2 active trading days simultaneously. The ASX, on the other hand, only trades on business days, which are Monday to Friday. It does not trade on national holidays. There is a pre-market session from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. The market starts alphabetically in single price auctions during the first 10 minutes, and then a short random time is built to avoid accurate prediction for the first trades. The exchange also conducts a single price auction between 4 p.m. and 4:10 p.m. to determine the daily closing prices. And some of the ASX benchmarks are S&P ASX 20, ASX 50, ASX 100, ASX 200, ASX 300, All Ordinaries, ASX Mid Cap 50, ASX Small Ordinaries, ASX All Australian 50, ASX All Australian 200, the ASX Dividend Opportunities Index, ASX Emerging Companies Index, ASX All Ordinaries Gold, ASX Franked Dividend Index, ASX All Technology Index, ASX 200 Inverse Daily Index, and the ASX 200 VIX Index. Hopefully that information's been useful for you. Thanks so much for watching. Please do like, share, comment. Keep watching for more market insights and business news.